Imagine this. You're 16 years old. You've just been charged with murder. The court gives you house arrest instead of jail. An ankle monitor, a literal second chance. What do? Most people would stay home, talk to their lawyer, and pray for mercy. But not Tamor McIntyre. He cut off that ankle monitor. He became a fugitive, and while running from the police, while wanted for capital murder, he recorded a song. That song didn't just go viral, it hit the Billboard charts. It made him a superstar overnight while he was the most wanted teenager in America. This is the story of Tay-K, the rapper who threw away $1 million future, destroyed multiple families, and became one of the most controversial figures in hip-hop history. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button. 97% of you watching right now aren't subscribed. It's free, and it helps us bring you more stories like this. Tamor Trayvon McIntyre was born June 16, 2000 in Long Beach, California. His childhood was the definition of unstable. His father was incarcerated for much of his youth, and his mother moved the family constantly, from California to Las Vegas, and finally to Arlington, Texas. By middle school, he had no father figure and no guidance. In Arlington, he was surrounded by gang culture. School wasn't working, and by 15, he had dropped out completely. But he found an escape in hip-hop. He started posting tracks on SoundCloud. His voice was raw and authentic. He wasn't pretending. He was living what he rapped about. He adopted the name Tay-K, and by 16 he was running with a crew called the Ruga Boys. They were involved in robberies, theft, and violence. In the summer of 2016, he made a choice that changed everything. July 26, 2016, Mansfield, Texas. Tay-K and his crew planned a robbery. The target was someone they believed had valuables. This wasn't spontaneous. They planned it for days. They brought weapons and wore masks. When they arrived at the house, they found two people inside. One was the target. The other was his friend, Ethan Walker. 21 years old, just visiting. The situation escalated instantly. There was resistance, chaos, and then gunfire. Ethan Walker was struck. The crew fled, leaving Ethan behind. He passed away that night over a robbery that netted almost nothing. Within weeks, Tay-K was arrested and charged with capital murder. Because he was 16, the court made a controversial decision: house arrest. Stay home and await trial. This was his one chance to do things right. But on March 25, 2017, he cut off his monitor. He became a fugitive. U.S. Marshals were deployed. And then, the wildest part of the story happened. While running from the law, he filmed a music video for a song called The Race. The video showed him standing next to his own wanted poster. It exploded, hundreds of millions of plays. Free Tay-K trended globally. Record labels were reaching out to a kid who was literally hiding from the FBI. But while the song was climbing the charts, another tragedy occurred. April 23, 2017, San Antonio, Texas. Tay-K met with Anthony Saldivar, a 23-year-old photographer. Mark thought this was a professional meeting for a photo shoot, but prosecutors say it was a setup for a robbery. When Mark resisted, he was fatally wounded. Another life was gone. Another family was destroyed. The manhunt intensified, and on June 30th, 2017, authorities finally caught up to him in Elizabeth, New Jersey. The run was over. At his trial in July 2019, the courtroom was packed. Prosecutors showed the music video for The Race as evidence. They argued it showed a complete lack of remorse. The defense argued he was young and influenced by a bad environment, but the evidence was overwhelming. The verdict: guilty. He was sentenced to 55 years for the death of Ethan Walker. Later, he faced more time for the death of Mark Saldivar. As of 2026, Tay-K is 25 years old. He is in a maximum security prison in Texas. He will likely spend his entire adult life behind bars. He can still write lyrics, but he can't record. He can't perform. He is a ghost in the industry he almost conquered. Meanwhile, The Race is still on every streaming platform. It has hundreds of millions of streams. The families of the victims have begged platforms to remove the music, saying it's like losing their sons all over again every time the song plays. This raises a massive question for us as listeners. Should we separate the art from the artist? Every stream generates revenue. Every view keeps his name alive. The industry often rewards criminal backgrounds, and fans often glorify the violence until it becomes real. Tay-K had real talent. He could have made it out of his environment legally, but he thought he needed to prove